I am in love with this company. I'm in love with Nano Dimensions. Hey friends, thanks for being here. We're talking about Nano Dimensions, and if you know me, you know I am a sucker for Nano Dimensions. I love this company, I love what they do, I love what they make. I love that they are just revolutionary and that they have a very bright future ahead of them, and a lot of people love them, and they're a very hype stock, they're a very big stock, and they're absolutely 100% a growth stock, and they are something that you should definitely look at and have in your portfolio for the next 5 years, because things could get crazy out of control here in time to come. So talking about Nano Dimensions, you know, I don't want to make this a hype video. I want to make this a double-edged sword video, bringing you facts, what is going on. I don't want to add any fat here to this video, but let's go straight to a chart and see what we're looking at here. But just going back to January alone this year, Nano Dimensions hit around a $17 mark, and that was amazing. And then right when it hit that $17 mark, guess what happened next? We had that 2.5 month plummet with the stock market when everything just fell apart, and Nano Dimensions took a heavy casualty in that. But recently we have been seeing some very greener days with Nano Dimensions, and look, just in last month with this, man, this is a great looking chart right here. Look at these big wide valleys right here, man. This is the kind of stuff you want to see right here. When stocks take time to make these valleys, they take time to grow, these are the building blocks you definitely want to see structure right here on this chart. So things we know about Nano Dimensions. Obviously, Kathy Wood loves Nano Dimensions, and I'm not even going to talk about that because there's been a million videos about that, so we're not even going to talk about that. The other part of this is that Nano Dimensions is involved in so many sectors. It is involved in healthcare, it is involved in the military, it is involved in everything that has to do with everyday functions. It makes so many things and it has so many contracts. But let's look into the future. According to the Future Business Insight, the 3D printed market is expected to reach $54.96 billion by 2027 from $10.41 billion in 2019. This implies a CAGR of 23.5% during the forecast period. We know on May 25th, Nano Dimensions launched the Dragonfly LDM 2.0 update, which is a comprehensive update to its flagship product. So just the insight there, the Dragonfly is Nano Dimensions like bread and butter. This is their flagship 3D printer. This is the big boy. This is what gets the business done. So I want to bring something to your attention. I am a believer that things follow suit quite a bit, that I believe lightning does strike twice in stocks a lot of the time. So going back to December 3rd of 2020, this is when we saw Nano Dimensions right under $8, a bid price on Nano Dimensions. In that time frame, we saw these valleys start to appear again. And then right around when Nano Dimensions got into this $8, $9 mark, this is when things started to really happen with volume, started to happen with news, started to happen with just people were paying attention to this stock even more. And then we had the massive shoot up to 16 to around $17 a stock price on that. And like I said, that's when everything fell apart for every single stock. The market went to trash. So now with these last few weeks of good things going on with the stock market, I don't want to jinx it right now, but we've had some really good weeks here. We're starting to see Nano Dimension come alive here again. It's starting to be talked about again. People are paying attention to it again. And I'm almost wondering if we're about to see another walk up here. And obviously, we do know there's calls meeting puts here. We have options coming out here that, are having to be met. So there's a rumor going around right now with Nano Dimensions that I want to address. I'm just going to come out there with it and say it. A lot of people know about it, they may not know about it. But when we talked about that DeepCube partnership happening not long ago, if you remember, I made a video on that. This was a few months ago when Nano Dimensions was partnering, pretty much taking over DeepCube. Well, the thing with that is that when this DeepCube deal happened, it was a big thing. It was very hyped up. It shot the stock up. It was a big deal. It still is a big deal, however you want to look at it. But the problem with that is that DeepCube was founded by 2 board members of Nano Dimensions. So there was kind of like some inside talk there that things, you know, this was like an inside deal, and getting a little sticky there. So that's a little bit of negative news surrounding Nano Dimensions that a lot of people have had issues with. You know, it's sticky fingers, and people don't like sticky fingers. Big people that have big money in Nano Dimensions, you know, they don't like sticky stuff, and that was a little sticky. And the other one is that can Nano Dimensions keep up with their technology, their 3D printing? Can they keep up with the competition that is rising up with them, that is coming out? You know, can they keep up with the future of what 3D printing is bringing to the table? Because I don't know how much, you know, anybody knows about 3D printing, but 3D printing is getting really big. It is becoming a really big deal, and you know, within the next 5 years, this is going to be you know, a really, really big market, more so than it is right now. So can Nano Dimensions keep up with that? Can their Dragonfly unit keep up with the high demand of that? Because honestly, Nano Dimensions is still a pretty small company in comparison to what people might think it is. It's not really that big of a company. So friends, this is my short little video about Nano Dimensions, just getting your mind, your gears turning about Nano Dimensions, what's been going on with it, what things to look for with this. I personally am an investor in Nano Dimensions. I am in very low, so it's got to really plummet for me to be concerned. So I am looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to everything to come out with this, and I would watch what's happening here with Nano Dimensions on the stock chart. You know, I do think something is happening here. I do think we're seeing a walk up here. I don't know how far this walk up is going to go before we plummet, but it's not stopping the walk up, and I'm very curious to see if it's just walking up to some calls here, and then those are going to happen, and we're going to, you know, just fall back down. But you know, Nano Dimensions being a $10 stock, I think that's pretty much where it's probably going from the $8 to $10 mark. I think that's probably where it's going to be. So just watch it, put it on the board. This is one you want to have on your wish list. But friends, with all that said, remember, be positive, be you, take time to invest in your future. It is so important. It is one of the healthiest and best things you can possibly do for yourself. So friends, remember, the stock market is ruthless. It takes no prisoners, and best of luck out there. Bye friends.